Good afternoon, it's The Social on talkSPORT 2. It's Sam, Ellard and Rory Jennings with you until 6 o'clock this evening. We're now going to talk the title race. Another really good weekend for Arsenal, who took care of their own business yesterday, beating Crystal Palace by a goal to nil. Another victory, another clean sheet. Arsenal conceded just 3 goals this season across all competitions. And Liverpool and Man City both beaten as well over the weekend. Liverpool have now lost 4 league games in a row, 7th in the table, 7 points behind top of the table Arsenal. Let's now hear from Liverpool manager Arne Slot.
I also saw us scoring 2 goals again. We were able to score more, we were able to score more, and we had more chances than only the 2 goals we've scored. So, but we can keep talking about scoring goals, but if we every game concede goals and also conceding set pieces, then we make it very hard for ourselves to win a game of football.
Rory, fascinated for your take on the team that won the Premier League last season at Acanto, the Premier League champions who won it so comfortably last season, who have on paper what looked like a really good summer, bringing in lots of good players, losing 4 in a row. Why is this happening, and can they turn it around?
Yeah, I think they can certainly turn it around. I'm not ready to suggest that this Liverpool team is spent. I've seen some ridiculous statements regarding it. Like I've genuinely seen people whose opinions I rate quite highly being ready to question Arne Slot.
Names?
No, I mean, it's fairly prevalent. If you look online, if you look on social media, you will see...
that is one of the most ludicrous things I've heard. That's insanity.
No, I completely agree. Won the league at Acanto, won the league by 10 points in his debut season and did some truly, truly brilliant things within that. The redeployment and redefinition of Ryan Gravenberch is the obvious one to use. The form that Mohamed Salah found at this time last year. Like, people were so quick to forget. This time last year, we were legitimately having a conversation about Mohamed Salah being the best footballer in the world. Mohamed Salah rediscovering a form that was actually superior to the form that he demonstrated in his peak years, which was, 2020, something like that. So I don't really see how it's gone this way. I can't really predict how it will go. But what I'm not ready to do is say that Liverpool will not rediscover their form. Liverpool are undoubtedly a side that if it clicks, they're capable of winning 15 games in a row. They're probably not going to do that. I've seen no indication from them this season to suggest that they are capable of doing that. But if Slot can find the formula, and I don't know what it is, it could be something drastic. It could be something like something that we can't predict. The parallel I'll draw is when it looked like it was all going wrong for Antonio Conte at Chelsea.
They went to 5 at the back.
Went to 5 at the back, off the back of that 3-0 defeat by Arsenal. And we never looked back, and we did actually break a record at the time.
And the wing-backs was Marcus Alonso and Victor Moses that won the league that season?
Yeah.
That's remarkable, right?
It was, and we did something that you didn't necessarily anticipate us doing, and we found a way, and then we broke a record at the time. The record that we broke was consecutive wins. Obviously, the record that felt huge, we did it 14. It felt massive at the time, but then obviously City and Liverpool and whatever, they've broken that record subsequently. But I think that this Liverpool team, they have all of the right ingredients to do that. Whether they can go beyond that, whether they can actually find it, I don't know. The thing that they have now is the pressure on them is just through the roof, because the jeopardy around every single game, effectively, they can't lose their next game. Like they must.
Liverpool's next 2 games for the next international
City
break.
coming up,
City and Villa. Arsenal's next 2 for the international break. Burnley and Sunderland.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 7 points to gap now.
Yeah.
You could be 13 going to the next international break.
I am actually ready to discount Man City's chance of winning the league. I'm not seeing them as I'm not seeing City as a contender. I don't think that they have enough about them. I don't think they were a particularly good side last year. I don't think they're a particularly good side this year. I think they are so reliant on Erling Haaland that it's untrue. And ultimately, I can't really think of an example where one player has carried a team to the title. The only example that kind of borders on this would be Robin van Persie when he went from Arsenal to Manchester United, scored about 1 billion goals before Christmas and won them the league. But people seem to forget, like, Michael Carrick was unreal that year. Like, it wasn't simply Haaland. It wasn't simply Van Persie. Whereas when you look at City, it does feel simply Haaland. It really does. If he doesn't play well, they don't win. If he doesn't score, they don't score. So I think that City are clearly the 3rd best team in the country.
I think it's also City defensively as well. I'm not sure throughout the course of the season. I think they make too many mistakes defensively.
They're relying on Stones staying fit. There's only so much stock that you can put in one player when that player has. It would be like, if I said to you, Chelsea can win the league, all we have to do is keep Reece James fit. You go,
big if,
okay,
isn't
well,
it?
you can't really keep.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard City fans go, "Oh, if John Stones stays fit for this season."
He's never been able to do that, has he?
What are you talking about? He didn't do that. He didn't do that when he's 27.
Yeah, can Arsenal's next 2 games, Sunderland and Burnley, Liverpool, Man City play each other before the next international break. It's almost like when you're looking at this Arsenal team there, Rory, you can't really pick any faults, can you, in the team? And also, by the way, do you think there's any chance they could beat your record, the Chelsea defensive record?
No.
That's too hard, isn't it? How did you concede 15 goals a season, by the way?
Yeah, I know.
That almost just sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
But the thing is, it only matters if you win the league.
Yeah.
Like, it does only...
But you do well to concede that few goals and not win the league, right?
Well, do you know?
To.
Weirdly, I looked into this. The Arsenal team of 1999. So Manchester United win a treble, which is all that you know 1999 for, right? Everybody listening to this now, the only thing that they associate with football in this country in 1999 is what? David Beckham's corner, Teddy Sheringham. Right. That's what football is. Manchester United winning the treble. Arsenal that season conceded 17 goals, which was a record. Nobody knew it. Yeah. Nobody cared.
So I'm surprised.
Because history is written by the winners.
Yeah. They 17 goals in the league that season.
17.
That's only Chelsea more than that Chelsea team.
Exactly. But no,
yeah.
I'm assuming you didn't know that.
No,
because nobody does. And I looked it up. The only reason I know it is because I looked it up.
No, but I joked to you. I said it's almost impossible to concede that few goals and not win the league.
Yeah, and they proved it.
And there you can.
Yeah.
17 goals, seeing less than a goal every other game.
Yeah.
And you don't win the league.
Yeah, the Arsenal team of '99. Remember, it won the double in '98.
Yeah, sure.
And then Arsenal won the double again in 2002. So it's a really good era for the club. And in 1999, they got to the semi-final. Bergkamp's team, the semi-final at Villa Park. It was a great Arsenal team that just didn't concede goals. But ultimately, Man United were too good. But nobody remembers the outrageously miserly defence that Arsenal employed that year, primarily because they didn't win anything.
The preparation Rory Jennings does for this show is absolutely.
In fairness, I read that on the tube, but yeah,
today
I read it on the tube today. Well, I looked it up today because I keep what I was trying to look up was I'll tell you who else got really. Do you know everybody's going? Oh, this Arsenal team. This one will shock you. This Arsenal team have conceded 3 goals in 9 games, which is the same that Chelsea conceded when they did the 15. Guess who else were on this record? Someone that's really going to surprise you. The year is 20. You're never going to guess it. Okay. But the year is 2014. And after 9 games, they had only conceded 2 goals. It's impossible. Do you want me to just tell you?
You can just tell me then, yeah.
Mauricio Pochettino's Southampton team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is...
So it doesn't necessarily tell you what's going on. Arsenal should be very proud of what they're doing at the moment. But there's an awful long way to go.
There's a long way to go. Burnley and Sunderland to come for Arsenal, top of the table, 4 points clear of Bournemouth. The smugness in the studio already is absolutely astonishing. It is an absolute...
It's an absolute disgrace.
Thank you, Jeremy. Social on talkSPORT 2, just gone 3:20, Monday, October the 27th. We're going to be talking all things Arsenal very shortly with our resident gooner, Luke Henry. Mikel Arteta says their 1-0 win against Palace is the victory values the most this season because they knew how hard it would be. The Premier League leaders have opened up a 4-point gap. Arteta says it's a massive win.
Very big result. I just mentioned to the boys, for me it's one of the biggest victories this season. I knew about the difficulty of it. We come from a lot of games every 3 days. And a Palace team that, in my opinion, has been one of the best this season in the league. So difficult to generate chances against them. The level of organisation and how interpret and cancel spaces and shift and defend with a lot of intensity is remarkable. So big credit to Oliver for doing that. And then the threat. Every time you lose the ball, they are on you and they attack from the opposite side with a lot of threat. They have a focal point on Mateta. You want to press them, they go long, and then the second ball is just a lottery. So I know that we have beaten a team that is very difficult to beat, and especially to gain a clean sheet because we are the first team that is on that this Premier League. So I'm very happy.
Luke Henry, talkSPORT producer, reporter, Arsenal fan, is with me in the studio. Luke, I'm very proud of all the work you're doing on camera, off camera. I don't want to say you're getting too big-headed, mate, but you did an Alan Brazil walk-in. I worked with Alan Brazil on The Breakfast Show for 5 years, and he was known notoriously for rocking up into the studio at 6:04 after the news and sport. You were due on air, I believe, at 3:15. Thankfully, I didn't do my job properly, and I broke late, and yet you saunter in at 3:20 without caring the world, mate.
I got told 3:20. You can blame the Northern Line. That's all I
can blame the Northern Line.
Blame the Northern
Line.
Or
I can blame you for not leaving your house earlier on to be in on time.
You could do that, but I got told 3:20, and I should actually have been here at 3:15. So yeah, you can blame the Northern Line.
Fair enough.
But thanks, mate, for the introduction. Really
No,
appreciate it.
you're a good man. I did say I'm proud of you
Yeah,
for
I did, that's what
absolutely
I meant,
smashing it,
mate.
didn't
Proud
I?
of you, mate.
Take the glass half full approach, not the glass half empty approach. Not pretty yesterday, Luke, but Arsenal got this feel about them at the moment where, you even if you're not playing well, you don't know you're going to see the goal. So obviously, therefore, you're not going to be losing football matches, right?
No, you're right. Not pretty, but a very pretty result.
Sure.
And Arteta is right. Crystal Palace, I was really impressed with them. They've got a lot of quality.
With Palace?
I wasn't.
Yesterday?
Yeah, you can just see
What
they're
impressed you about them yesterday?
not in terms
I
of.
was underwhelmed by them yesterday, certainly from an offensive point of view.
It depends. In the first half, it was a cagey game, but you can just see they're really well coached, well organised, and have a lot of a good understanding. I like the way they play with the back three and they play into the midfield. And what they're clever of doing
Ward to the midfield as well, so comfortable on the ball.
He was, but what was really clever about what they do in the first half is that it's Gay or Richards, whoever, they'll fizz the ball into the midfield and you think it's going to go to Sarr or Pino, and what they do is they let it run. So they literally basically dummy the ball and give it to Mateta, and then he occupies the ball and then plays it in space. So they did that a couple of times and it nearly paid off, but Sam, I don't have to say it because I watch this team now and it's freakish because you always feel like you're in control of the game. We feel like we aren't going to concede. I mean, I don't know if you've probably seen it on social media about this shot on target that Crystal Palace had, which really isn't a shot on target, in Eddie Nketiah heading the ball in David Raya. That's the only shot on target supposedly we faced in this month in the Premier League, which is absolutely astonishing.
Is that right?
And to a man, I mean, it's hard not to talk about the defence in a game like that, even though they didn't have a lot to do. But Timber was fantastic. Gabriel is epitomising everything we do at this moment in time. And also, really want to big up Christian Mosquera because obviously Saliba coming off at half-time, maybe people may have worried about that because of the physical presence of Mateta. It's seamless. It's seamless. Whatever Gabriel Heinz is doing, Mikel Arteta is doing on the training pitch. We've conceded 3 goals in all competitions this season. It's staggering. To put it in perspective, it's the best ever start in our whole club's history, 138-year history. It's the best defensive record we've had so far. And long it may continue, but it's incredible. And last season, yes, we weren't good enough and we dropped a lot of points. And I came on here a lot of times and I was saying to myself, we're actually playing well, but when the game changes, we need someone that can give us a little bit of a moment, a bit of magic, a bit of creativity. Eberechi's finish, I don't think people have spoken about it enough. It's an incredible finish. And that's the moment you need. And that's the moment when you look at it, in 3 months, 4 months down the line, you'll remember that game on October the 26th, Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0, and you'll look at that, combined with the results over the weekend and go, that was the moment. Not necessarily dominant for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but that was the moment in the game that could be really, really priceless come the end of the season.
I'm sure you want to keep your feet on the ground, etc., but is it hard at the moment as we approach November to think, give it speed? Obviously Arsenal looking really strong, but Liverpool having their own problems. Man City, I don't think are consistent enough this season. It feels like it's difficult to put forward an argument that it's not Arsenal that win the league this season.
Yeah, I mean, you are right. You have to keep your feet on the ground, but one thing I will say is people may not remember that who was top at this stage last season was Manchester City, and we don't remember how bad they were, but how good they were at the start. And obviously then Liverpool ran away with it. So look, it depends how you want to view it. You can say that football can change really quickly. I was in here a month ago and we were saying about how good Liverpool were.
And that weekend where
we were going to Newcastle.
Yeah, that felt like a must-win game for Arsenal.
Well,
didn't it?
if we don't win
things
it,
can change quickly.
Things can change quickly, but
I want you to give me hope now.
But the thing is, though, what I will say is after watching Liverpool over the weekend, I haven't watched much of Manchester City, only caught the highlights, but again it feels like the narrative is if you stop Haaland you stop City. I'm not sure that's the complete case, but based on the game on Sunday. But after watching Liverpool, it's just the structure and the organisation on the pitch that I feel Liverpool are really lacking at this moment in time. They've obviously got the quality and they've obviously got players that come back from injury, and I still think Liverpool are a very good team, but right now on the pitch they don't look like they kind of know what they're doing. I look at Arsenal, I think it's just so well drilled, it's organised, we can play, we can adapt to every single game. Anything you want to throw at us, Arteta went to a back 5, for the last 10 minutes just to see the game out. My view yesterday actually at the game was quite interesting because I sat lower but right at the back, so I had a nice eye-line view of the halfway line, so to speak. The amount of variations and the different movement and the running off the ball and to open it up for space, it just looks, there's so much coaching going into that. So yeah, look, it's a long way to go. I mean, we aren't even hit game week 10. But what I will say is, if you look at the fixtures coming up, I know Liverpool play Villa and then Manchester City, and you've got and then City have got obviously Bournemouth and then Liverpool. So football's not one on paper, but it's a real significant opportunity to put some real breathing space alongside. And then after the international break, we play Spurs at home, and I believe City play Newcastle. So look, we don't concede goals. The worry I would say for rival fans is that people seem to forget that, people seem to think that this is Arsenal's level. Arsenal will improve. Arsenal will get better. This is an Arsenal side without Odegaard, Havertz, Madueke, Jesus. So it's got a lot of attacking talent to come back into the side. But when we're not playing well, as we didn't do last season, we're taking 3 points. And if you keep winning your football matches, you're going to be hard to stop.
Let's hear from talkSPORT's Jeff Stelling. Speaking on the breakfast show this morning, he's called on Mikel Arteta's boys to be a little bit more expansive, given the quality in their squad.
This is the fourth game they've been involved in this season in 9 Premier League games. It's finished 1-0.
Yep.
Didn't win them all, obviously. And there's a 1-1 in there as well. For me, they've got great players. I love some of the Arsenal players, you know. I love Saka. I love Odegaard when he's playing. You know, I love Eberechi Eze as well. But please be just a bit more expansive. I mean, watching Arsenal against Palace was watching paint dry. It's the classic. It was purgatory.
So lots have been made, Luke, obviously, for a long time now, but Arsenal and the way they play, and obviously being defensively good from set pieces and stuff like that. What would your reaction be to that Jeff clip and people in general making those sort of comments?
Generally ludicrous, to be honest, because I feel like Arsenal can't win, because Arsenal have been lambasted over recent seasons for not getting over the line, for being too... trying to find a way to win a football match, and then when Arsenal do find a way to win a football match, it's not the way to win a football match, so therefore they should get, criticised by that. People have this, I don't know why people have taken note of or stock so much of our set pieces. When I looked at the weekend, pretty much quite a few teams won this weekend by set pieces and lost. So look, it's part of the game. You can sulk about it, you can cry about it, or you can... just admire that it actually takes some work on the training ground. This narrative about Arsenal being boring frustrates me a lot, because I feel like it's a very results view analysis. I don't think people actually watch the 90 minutes and actually see what we're trying to do. And you look at Tuesday's game against Atletico Madrid, which is a big statement, and then to play on the way you did on Tuesday and then to play the way on Sunday, it's very difficult. But, to have both clean sheets, people look at the West Ham game and think, it's only 2-0, it was boring. Could have scored a lot more. People forget the Newcastle result, where I thought we blew them away for the first 45 minutes. Yes, we were 1-0 down at half time. So it depends what you want to do. If you just want to look at the result and say, they've won by a goal to nil, was a boring game. Yesterday wasn't great, but I don't know what you want to watch. I know football's about entertainment and this discourse about paying money and having entertainment, but Arsenal fans right now, including myself, will take 1-0 to the Arsenal every week if it means we are getting the Premier League title for the first time in 21 years. So I don't know what people really want us to do.
Well, Luke, one thing's for certain, mate, you can't lose it from here, can you?
Pardon?
You can't lose it from here, can you?
Well, we can.
You can't.
Well, we can.
You sure?
It can.
There we go. No, look, I think this Arsenal team is I just think from a defensive point of view, so well drilled, so well organised, not conceding goals. Very quickly, we've got a break. In 30 seconds if you can, Victor Gyökeres, what we've made of his start?
Mixed. Need to help him. He needs to help us, but I'm not concerned just yet. Yesterday was we didn't give him enough service, but he played well. He's doing everything that a number 9 would do. We just need to help him have some more chances to put the ball in the back of the net, but that will come when we have more attacking talent.
I think so too. I think people are writing him off already. I think it's way too soon.
They can write him off, my friend.
I think he showed in Portugal what a great goal scorer he is. He can score all types of goals, and it's just about people sometimes take different length of time to adapt to life in the Premier League.
Just very quickly, Zubimendi. Outstanding.
Yeah, I thought the game against Atletico, I watched that closely in the week. I thought he was absolutely outstanding.
He's gone under the radar so much. I think he's been, since he's come into the Emirates first season, incredible.
Luke, I would say it's been a pleasure, but it hasn't. That was quite painful from my point of view, obviously, because, I'm starting to worry a little bit. Luke Topman, this is talkSPORT 2, it's The Social with William Hill, 18+, gambleaware.org. Up next, Luke's happy, so is Sunderland. We're talking all things Sunderland next.